Warm, but the wind certainly will be a factor today out of the west, anywhere from 15 to 25 miles an hour. In his first season, 41-year-old Tony Dungy, a native of Jackson, Michigan. And you see what the Bucs have done this season. Mike Holmgren, just simply a marvelous job since taking over in Green Bay 5 years ago. They're thinking Super Bowl for the Packers this time around, not the NFC Championship game alone.
You know, you talked about the college atmosphere, talked to Max McGee, the former great Packer. On the field before the game, he said there is no place like this in the world to play football in, and he's absolutely right.
Green Bay wins the toss, will receive. Husted kicks it away to Desmond Howard. And the former #1 pick brings it out across the 20 to the 21. And that's where the Packers will put it in play. Brett Favre, the league MVP a season ago. And if you took a vote about 1996, well, right now he'd win it again. Numerous changes up front along the offensive line. Michaels, the rookie, gets a starting place of Gary Brown. And at the right tackle slot, Bruce Wilkerson starts in place of Earl Dotson. Bennett, a banged-up shoulder, joins Henderson in the backfield. Freeman and Beebe, the wideouts. Shimura is the tight end. First down, Favre, a short drop, and throws well over the head of the intended receiver, Keith Jackson. Tampa Bay defensively, the 20th ranked unit in the National Football League. The rookie Upshaw joining fellow rookie Marcus Jones along with Safin Ahanatu. Very fine linebacking core of Brooks, Nickerson, and Martz. A secondary where the rookie Donnie Abraham starts in place of Dimry, joining Mayhew on the corners. Johnson and Lynch are the safeties. Hard-hitting safeties at that. 2nd and 10. The give is to Edgar Bennett. He has a first down and then some, shoved out of bounds at the 34 by Melvin Johnson and Lonnie Martz.
Just an idea what each team has to do. Green Bay, they're passing the ball too much against San Francisco. 61 passes. They need to run it more. For Tampa Bay, stop the penalties, hold on to the ball, keep Favre off the field, and make big plays, offense and defensive. For defense on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, find some way to disrupt the rhythm of Brett Favre. Now, Minnesota did a pretty good job of it blitzing. I would look to see some of that from Tampa Bay. You cannot let him sit back there off the 3-step drop and pick you apart, because he will do it.
Gain of 12 on the run by Bennett, who comes to the sideline. Levens and Henderson in the backfield, and this is Levens. Penalty flags down on the play. The ball comes loose, and it looked like Henderson dove in there to cover it up. But again, a penalty flag down, and it's going to be offsides against Tampa Bay.
There it is right off the bat. We just talked about it last week against Arizona. 114 yards worth of penalties for Tampa Bay.
And our referee, Dale Hamer.
Defense. Defensive right in. 5 yards. Repeat first down.
There's Warren Sapp right there. These are the kind of things that hurt them so bad last week against Arizona. In addition to this, they let Arizona hold the ball for 3 huge drives, 70-plus yards. They ate up 23 minutes. You can't win with that guy, number 4, on the field that long.
Five-step drop, swings it out to Edgar Bennett. And he's close to a first down. Yes, he has it. They spotted it to 45, where he was pushed out of bounds by Donnie Abraham, the rookie out of East Tennessee State.
I look for the running backs, particularly Edgar Bennett, to be more important these days now with Robert Brooks out. The tight ends will be a key. People are going to have to step up, Tom, and start making plays. You lose a Robert Brooks, you've lost an impact guy.
I mean, you're a playmaker. From Don Beebe in the win over San Francisco.
Exactly.
Little delay to Bennett, another huge hole. And he's into Tampa Bay territory at the 45-yard line. So a gain of 9 for Edgar Bennett. Jeff Gooch, a rookie, in on the tackle.
Coming right at you, working this side of the line of scrimmage. They feel that Adam Timmerman is pretty much one of their best run blockers. That time they do a good job of sealing down with Timmerman and bringing Aaron Taylor around on the outside to lead through. A nice block right there by Winters, the center. Getting back to the run, that's what Mike Holmgren talked about. not doing as much as he would like to, throwing it way too much. Like we said, 61 passes against San Francisco, and we're seeing it here.
Big hole cutting back off the left side is Dorsey Levens. He has a first down. And Green Bay on its opening possession marching down the field now at the Tampa Bay 38-yard line.
Watch the line pull. Everybody's going to go to the left. There's Aaron Taylor, 73 right there. He's key. He's got to get a block. A good job of recognition by Dorsey Levens. That play, that reminds me of the old Packers sweep. Stretching it out. You see daylight, turns it up. Very nice job.
Well, the Packers have been jumping on the opposition early and often in the 6-1 start to the 96 season. Favre rolling right, lofts a pass, nearly
it is.
Intercepted by John Lynch. He had a hand on it, lost it, had another hand on it, lost it, and it fell into his lap.
Great play recognition by John Lynch. And you know what? Brett Favre almost had Lynch. A beautiful job with the play action, the rollout. He gave him the pump fake. Watch this. All the action's going to go here. Favre's going to come back on the outside. He wants to get to Chamora. Now Lynch has got him in limbo. Look at Lynch. He's just in that gray area. He wasn't quite far up enough for him to give him the bite on the possibility of a scramble. But also give the credit to Lynch. Appreciate this. Look at that. And then staying with the football. I tell you, John Lynch, along with Melvin Johnson, two safety that's been making plays for the Bucs defense.
So the big turnover, and the give is to Reggie Brooks, and he slips over the left side out to the 28-yard line. Trent Dilfer, #1 pick, the 6th pick overall in '94. In this his 3rd season. In the last 2 games, Dilfer has been interception-free, covering better than 70 passes. Up front, it'll be Gruber and Riesenberg the tackles. Diaz, a rookie, starts in place of the injured Jim Pine at left guard. And in the backfield, Brooks and Alstott, the rookie out of Purdue, having a fine year. Thomas plays in place of Alvin Harper. Dave Moore starts in place of the injured Jackie Harris. Gain of 4, 2nd and 6. Brooks again crosses the 30. It'll bring up 3rd down and nearly 4. Green Bay, the #1 defensive team in the NFL, led by who else? The all-time career sacks leader, Reggie White. That front 4 has been awesome. Very young and fine linebacking core. Williams having a banner year out of Southern Cal. And the secondary, 20 interceptions. Evans, Newsom, the corners. Robinson and Butler, the safeties. 3rd down and 4. Carl Williams, number 86, comes in as a 3rd wide receiver in Dilfer's first throw of the game. Rolls right down the field, an open receiver caught at the 49-yard line by the rookie out of Texas A&M Kingsville, Carl Williams.
Carl Williams stepping in today, having to do a lot more playing with Alvin Harper out. Watch the hump move right here. Reggie White, that's vintage. And good awareness by Dilfer getting out of the pocket, and then great awareness by the receivers of finding an open area. You see right there, 21, Newsom kind of tripped down a little bit. Appreciate this. I mean, that move right there, nobody can stop. He's done that to tackle after tackle after tackle. So Riesenberg should not feel bad.
I had a dream about getting hit like that last night by Reggie White. Dilfer drops it off out of the backfield of the rookie Alstott, and he is tackled out of bounds by Brian Williams at the Green Bay 45. Alstott, what a fine year he's having, Ronnie, out of Purdue.
And the thing I like most about the guys, we look at Eric Rett there, is that he can catch the ball out of the backfield. That's kind of the new thing for fullbacks coming in the league right now. Not only to be able to run the ball, but also catch it. A huge challenge for Tampa Bay, going against a defense that is absolutely killing everybody, stopping the run, doing a good job against the run, but they got 4 people up front that can put heat on you.
2nd down and 4, carry is to Brooks, and he maybe picked up a yard. Leroy Butler charging all the way up from his strong safety position, the first man there to meet him.
Maybe the most valuable player in the secondary because he's a hybrid. He can play cornerback, he can play some safety right there. He represents Fritz Shermer's 8th man. And in the equation, you can't block him. And there he is to do what he's up there to do. they will have Leroy Butler, as we look at Fritz Shermer there, the defensive coordinator, they will have Leroy Butler play like a strong safety around the line of scrimmage / linebacker the first 2 downs, and then a cornerback on the 3rd down.
Ellison checks in on a 3rd down. It was 3rd and 3, and it's tough to tell whether the Buccaneers made it. Allstott got the football and came up shy of the 1st down. Decision time early on for Tony Dungy.
Yeah, you know, that's really a heartbreaker for them. You know, you have a nice little drive, make some good plays, and then get snuffed like that. But Tony's got no choice. He's got to go ahead and punt this ball. I don't think you want to risk giving the ball back to Brett Favre with that kind of field position.
And that is indeed the decision for the first-year head man, Tony Dungy.
Now, watch this. If they throw this ball and there's any contact down the field, you see John Lynch, 47 right there, maybe trying to check out of what they were going to do. I think that's what he did.
There may have been something on right there, Ronnie. I think you caught it. But the Buccaneers are going to spend the timeout.
They split 2 people out, and they wanted to see how Green Bay was going to react. Green Bay reacted very well.
Oh, I'm sorry.
People out.
Penalty, Ronnie.
Right.
No timeout.
5 yards. Still 4th down.
But, you know, getting back to what I was saying about that play, if the punter decides to throw the ball, watch this. Now see, but Green Bay adjusts extremely well. Give that credit to Nolan Cromwell, the special teams coach, on that one.
But they back him up 5 after the delay of game penalty. There it is. He's going to throw it. Nope, now he's going to kick it. It's blocked. Reggie White blocked it. John Lynch has the football, and it's loose again. Bodies all over the place. And Green Bay may have it right there. Well, you wonder what goes through the mind of the punter, Tommy Barnhart. Thought about throwing, waited too long, then by the time he decided to punt, it hit Reggie White in the head. So Green Bay will take over inside the Buccaneer 35 when we return. A lot of time here in Green Bay, part of your childhood. Here was a block punt a moment ago.
Now, there's Reggie White. He's working on Allstott right there. Key thing to remember here, Green Bay has the regular defense on the field. Poor Mike Allstott, he's got to try to block Reggie White. That is a mismatch if I've ever seen one.
So Green Bay, after the block punt, takes over at the 31-yard line. Dorsey 11's a huge hole inside the 20. And the last man to trip him up, the free safety Melvin Johnson, after a 15-yard gain.
And then going back to that punt now, another thing, Barnhart looked as though he's going to try to throw the ball. It looked as though they were going to try to run a screen to the right side. It didn't develop. Now I realize, got to try to get it off. Hey, impact guys making impact plays, and that's what it does for you. It puts you at about the 20-yard line.
4 receivers set. And they hand it off to Dorsey Levens, who's close to the 15. It'll bring up 2nd down and long. 2nd and 8.
Yeah, that's really unfortunate for Tampa Bay. You talk about teams not beating themselves, not doing things to get themselves in the hole. Hey, punt the ball, make Green Bay go back in field position. Now you have a complete snafu, and look where they have the football.
You know, they told us yesterday that you don't want to give Green Bay any more possessions than your team gets. If you have to punt and put them in bad field position.
Right.
Desmond Howard in motion on a 2nd and 8, and they're coming after Favre. Gunned across the middle. What a collision down at the 1-yard line.
And Freeman is hurt. Freeman is very hurt.
And Donnie Abraham, the rookie from East Tennessee State, slow to get up. Freeman down and is not yet gotten to his feet.
Freeman should stay down. He is not well. Freeman's going to come in on a little in route, and the safeties for Tampa Bay have been making huge hits all season long. And boy, he got his head ducked down. There's Melvin Johnson. He's coming on the strike. Watch what he does with his head. He grazes Freeman on the left side of his head, and that does not look good for Green Bay or Anthony Freeman right now.
Pro football, listen into the sounds, the contact of the game. Oh. Melvin Johnson delivering the blow, and he got 2 for 1. Antonio Freeman and his teammate Johnny Abraham.
What I think happened there, Melvin Johnson's knee caught Antonio Freeman on the side of the head there.
Well, Freeman did walk off. Favre, however, will go down. Lonnie Martz a sack, his 4th already this season, and that's a career high.
There's the pressure we had to see. Lonnie Martz right up there. He doesn't look like he's going to come, but he's going to go on what's called a delayed blitz. There he is. See, Favre takes a pre-snap read, doesn't see Martz on the line, doesn't think he's coming. He looks to that side, and there Martz is right in his face. John Michaels was occupied with Reagan Upshaw. That's just a good job there by Monty Kiffin, the defensive coordinator for Tampa Bay, showing something they haven't seen in a while.
Well, we have a 40-yard field goal try by Chris Jackie, and he nails it through. So the Packers, after the block punt, would look like a fake punt. Barnhart kicked it away. Reggie White blocked it, and the Packers take a 3-0 first quarter lead. Appears to be okay. Over on the Packers sideline, this game presented by authority of the NFL, intended for the private use of our audience. Any rebroadcaster or the use of this telecast without the express written consent of the Green Bay Packers and the National Football League is prohibited. 3-0 Green Bay. This Jackie bangs it away, and coming out of the end zone, Carl Williams, and he's stopped shy of the 20. So the decision by Williams, who's dropping back to return kicks for the first time all year to bring it out, was not a good one. We'll be right back.
Wendy's, where
to the extent of Freeman's injury, we'll let you know. The Packers again have jumped out in front 3-0.
If that's not pouring salt on a wound, I don't know what is. That makes their wide receiver situation even worse.
Dilfer dumps it off to Allstott out of the backfield, and he sticks his nose straight ahead close to a first down. Brian Williams on the tackle. While we have a moment, let's send it back to our Hollywood Television Center and our main man, James Brown.
All right, Tom, take a look at this opening drive by San Francisco. Steve Young gets knocked out of action, literally sustained a concussion on this hit by Michael Barrow, a play that should never have been. Houston called timeout because they had 12 men on the field. Players never heard the whistle. Let's take it back to Tom and Ron.
Boy, that's an expensive whistle. Wow.
Stuffed on a first down and 10 by Gilbert Brown. Reggie Brooks.
Dig him out. One of the ways Mike Holmgren said this team would be better this year was in the middle of the field, stopping the run. And you put a 325-pound guy named Gilbert Brown and just works Tony Mayberry. That will help you get better at the run. That is one reason that they are #1 in the NFL at stopping the run.
On the play, 2nd and 10 for the Buccaneers, and Dilfer to throw. Now under pressure, rolls left, being chased, and he tucks it away, steps out of bounds. George Kuntz in hot pursuit. It'll bring up 3rd down for the Bucs.
Yeah, Gilbert Brown shows up again. You can say he's there for the run, but the more you watch him on film, Tom, the more you like the way he gets to the quarterback. You just saw him make a good run play. Now watch him in the pass rush. He flushes Favre out of the pocket. Pretty much everywhere else doing a good job of holding up on the offensive line. Favre nowhere to go as Kuntz tries to Bigfoot him down.
6 defensive backs check into the game. Tyrone Williams, a rookie, number 37, along with the veteran Mike Pryor. On a 3rd and 8, Dilfer in trouble. Down he goes. Leroy Butler getting his 2nd sack of the season. You said it earlier, Ron. He might be the defense's MVP.
You can do so many things with Leroy Butler. You know, sometimes he's a corner, other times he's a safety. This time, he's a pass rusher. The guy makes plays. You know, he went through a situation in the offseason, got kind of fired up. Ron Wolf made some comments to the effect that he wasn't working hard enough in the offseason. Well, he didn't like it too much, and I think that's been good for him because he is playing great football. He leads the team in interceptions as well.
Low snap. Barnhart had to pull it out of the grass, and Desmond Howard ran into his own man, stays on his feet. And he is stopped at the 37-yard line by Derek Brooks. 46-yard punt by Barnhart. Well, the Packers, of course, the legendary Vince Lombardi. But look at what Mike Holmgren has done in his first 26 games as head coach here in Green Bay. The numbers identical to the Hall of Famer Lombardi.
You know, and I think it starts with personnel. Yes, the ideas are good and the concepts are all good, but you have to have people. Two big moves I think this franchise made: the trade for Brett Favre and then getting Reggie White in. You have impact studs on offense and defense.
3-0 Packer lead. Edgar Bennett, a big hole off the left side, and he's close to midfield. Tackled there by the strong safety John Lynch after a 12-yard gain.
Working a lot. Green Bay has been kind of stigmatized as a team that runs to their right a lot. But today we see them going to their left, and everybody gets a block. And you see that kind of hole there running through. Winters coming around. I mean, that's just a pretty picture there. And this man, even though he's carried less in the last 3 or 4 games, his yard per carry average has gone up.
Bennett will get it again, his 7th carry of the day, and he has some more good yardage, a pickup of 4, so 7 carries and now 61 yards for Edgar Bennett, who, Ronnie, as you point out, this career best 4.2 per carry so far this year for Bennett.
Now, if you're an offensive coordinator and you can get 3-5 a crack running, you can have success. Now, you get a guy that's going 4-2 a crack, that puts you in great position. As we look at Sherman Lewis right there, the offensive coordinator, that puts you in great position on 3rd down.
2nd down throw complete to Chimura, who breaks a couple of tackles, and he's to the Buccaneer 27. Chimura's first reception in the last 3 games and just his 13th of the year.
And, you know, that's a good thing because that means Keith Jackson has been doing a lot of damage. But Mark Chimura, not the kind of guy that's going to go to the coaches complain, hey, give me the ball, give me the ball. He's getting the job done. You got 2 good tight ends on this team, and that's what a West Coast offense has always had. Good tight ends. When they're around, you play well.
1st down, and the give is to Edgar Bennett. They're running to the left side with tremendous authority here in the opening quarter, and a pickup of nearly 10. Abraham and Brooks on the stop.
But see, it's body on body. I want you to watch the way they just seal down on this left side. A good double team right there, and then another good block by Henderson, the fullback. I mean, they have just made a new line of scrimmage. Look at Curry, 75. He's been driven 5-6 yards back down the field. That is not where you want your defensive end to play. And that's a rookie on rookie right there. They faced each other in college. Upshaw went to Cal, and Michael went to USC.
Bennett this time, right behind the right guard, and the center Winters. He brings it down to the 15, tripped up by Marcus Jones. And that's good enough for a 1st down.
See, here's an idea here. Starting to spread it out a little bit more. You know, 2 rushes already going to the left side, but they're pounding the middle a little bit better than they've done in the past. That was Mike's big concern. Got to get back to the run, get more consistent on it, stay away from so many passes to Favre.
They threw 61 in the overtime win. That was a club record. This is Bennett looking for somewhere to go, and there is nowhere to run. Warren Sapp, Eric Curry, Lonnie Martz, Hardy Nickerson, all there on the tackle. So that is the end of the opening quarter. A much closer quarter than many would have predicted. Just a 3-0 Green Bay lead. Large in this town. Your father, a legendary name in Green Bay Packer history, Elijah Pitts. First, or rather 2nd down on the opening play of the 2nd quarter. They pitch it now. Levens is going to throw, and it's juggled. That is pass interference in the end zone. He was looking for William Henderson. Levens threw a perfect strike, but Johnson will be whistled for interference.
We saw this play being practiced on Friday, and Holmgren was so upset at Dorsey Levens because he wouldn't throw the ball on a line. I mean, he wouldn't put air on the ball. He kept throwing it on a line. And they did a pretty good job of fooling the Bucs defense. And Henderson almost made a great catch.
Well, the ball is going to be placed inside the 5-yard line.
Pass interference on the defense, number 24. First down.
Now, there's Henderson. He's going to come in motion and then go into the end zone. Levens is going to get the ball, of course, and fake the run. But he's got some pressure on him right here. You see Chidi Ahanatu. That's a pretty good job of Melvin Johnson making up the ground and coming back. But still not quite enough air under that ball.
Yesterday,
a little better than the other day.
Right. So first and goal at the 3. This is Edgar Bennett. He may got back to the line of scrimmage. John Lynch, the first man there.
Green Bay may run it in here, but they are one of the best teams in the league at passing it in for a touchdown once they're inside the 20. Usually coaches kind of get a little tight down here because they know they at least got a field goal. They don't trust their quarterback enough to throw it. But in this case, when you got an MVP quarterback who's having maybe another MVP year, you're not worried about throwing it as much.
Well, the Packers only have 2 rushing touchdowns as a team all season long. 21 touchdown passes, and Favre will try and make it 22. No, out of the end zone.
And they got a flag. And looked like there was some contact on Keith Jackson. Well, you just know when Keith Jackson comes into the game, along with Chamorro, he is the target. He is the favorite guy. There's been so much attention given to Chamorro in the past here that they use him as a decoy when they're both in the game. And it's that same play to the outside corner.
On the play. Holding, number 35 of the offense, is declined. Pass interference in the end zone is accepted. The ball will be placed by rule on the 1.
Well, he got it out. Keith Jackson right there, going to work to the corner of the end zone. Lynch with the coverage. See Lynch put that left arm on right there?
Oh.
Boy, I tell you, that's not a lot. Now watch what Chamorro does. His job is to pull Martin Mayhew away from Jackson in the end zone. I have seen a lot worse calls than that on John Lynch. I think that is a real tight call.
Shaky at best.
Shaky at best.
Well, you see what the Packers have done inside the red zone. They've gotten 2 first downs on this drive on pass interference calls.
And there it was, Tom. We just talked about Green Bay, the confidence Holmgren has in his quarterback to pass at this end of the field.
So first and goal at the 1. 3 tight ends, Chamorro, Jackson, and Thomason for some extra bulk. And that's a touchdown for Dorsey Levitt.
There they go. Now they're going to go find the stands.
They both went in there.
You think you could get up there?
We'll find out.
We will, huh?
So the 1-yard touchdown run by Dorsey Levens. And the man leading the way blocking for him, Henderson, figures I deserve a little of that too. So here's Jackie to try and make it 10-0, and he does.
He deserved to jump in some cheese too.
So the Packers here in the second quarter have opened up a 10-0 lead over the Buccaneers. The rushing offense dominating here early in the game. A 10-0 lead, 14:08 to play until halftime. Carl Williams returning kicks today. Nilo Silvan came down with a case of the flu as you look at the Green Bay scoring drive. And well, last week the 61 throws for Brett Favre. They wanted to run it a little bit more, as Ronnie Pitts told you earlier on, and 7 of the 8 plays on that drive rushing plays. Williams brings it out across the 20 to the 22. Next week on Fox NFL Sunday, Herman Moore leads the Detroit Lions right here to Lambeau Field to take on Brett Favre and the Packers. Plus other exciting regional action. It all begins at noon Eastern, 9 Pacific. Check local listings for the game and time in your area right here on Fox, and we'll be here for that matchup.
Yeah, that's the type of game the Packers can't look over this one and look forward to. You know, they have to worry about business at home right now.
First and 10 for Dilfer and the Buccaneers at the 22. And Eric Reddish checked into the game for the first time. Number 32, and he gets the football. Strong run still on his feet across the 25 to the 26. Eric Rett, 1,000-yard rusher in each of his first 2 seasons, 6th in the NFC his rookie year, and then 7th overall in the NFL last year with a 1,207 rushing yards, a 94-day holdout, Ronnie, over a contract.
Yeah, you know, and finally he's in here. And it's funny, I talked to Rich McKay, the general manager of the Bucs, down before the game, and he is so happy that this is over and that he's in, and then now that they can start the negotiation, at least with him here. He said everybody's going to take about 2 weeks off to kind of get their bearings again.
Dangerous throw by Dilfer. Had an eye on the tight end Dave Moore, but blanket-like coverage again by who else? Butler. Well, we talked about Redd and what he has meant to this Tampa Bay offense, and the numbers are just staggering. 18 touchdowns. He had the long contract pulled out in '94 after being a second-round draft pick and came on to rush for better than 1,000 yards.
I thought it was interesting what Trent Dilfer said, what Warren Sapp said as soon as they walked into our production meeting last night. They said it is a different team now emotionally with Eric back. There is no animosity toward him on this team. He is the focal point, like you mentioned in the beginning of the story. He is the focal point of our offense. And those are strong words to give to a running back when you're the quarterback.
3rd and 6. Dilfer hammered as he threw. Reggie White, along with help from Wayne Simmons, applying the pressure. So Tampa Bay will have to punt it away.
If you're going to have time to throw, the first thing you have to do is get Reggie White. Not only does Reggie White get to you, but now Wayne Simmons, a linebacker, comes in the middle. That is penetration inside, which is something that Fritz Sherman, the defensive coordinator, has been trying to get here for a while, along with outside. And that's what makes this defense so good. They can get to you from everywhere. You are not untouchable by any means.
Another snap in the grass. And that one punted away, and Desmond Howard calls for a fair catch and has to battle the winds to hang on at the 40-yard line. A 34-yard punt. 10-0, Packers lead it. For Green Bay, leading 10-0, and certainly they have dominated the game. The field position game early on in this one. You see Tampa Bay starting at its own 21, but the Packers from their own 42. And this drive starts from their own 40. Favre to throw on first down and wants it all. Down the left sideline for BB, and what a play breaking it up. The rookie Donnie Abraham on the coverage. But the bad news for Green Bay, and it's not been announced to the crowd here, Antonio Freeman on this play suffered a broken left forearm.
And he got it because he hit Melvin Johnson's knee. Watch Melvin Johnson's left knee right there. That's what hit him. Johnson actually gave his own man, Abram, the brunt of the hit. But boy, that just really sends Mike Holmgren into the think tank now on what he's going to do wide receiver-wise. And that makes a guy like Anthony Morgan even more of a commodity out there.
Favre looks across the middle and a batted ball. Bonnie Marks getting a hand on it. Keith Jackson was wide open, but now in back-to-back weeks, here you suffer the injury today. Again, Antonio Freeman, who is the leading receiver for this Packer offense, a broken left forearm, and then you go back to the game on Monday night. This play ended Robert Brooks' season.
Right there, where he had to try to stop himself, he twisted his knee. He tore the anterior cruciate ligament, the muscle that runs down in between your knee. All right, the kneecap patella tendon, that was torn, and then there was some MCL, medial collateral damage. They said if he had just one of those things, it would have been a matter of weeks instead of the whole year.
3rd and 10, Favre in trouble, drops off the screened 11s, read beautifully by John Lynch. So it's 3 and out for the Green Bay Packers.
Huge stand for Tampa Bay. And maybe you're seeing now a little bit of the effect of Antonio Freeman being out of the game. Because of the position changes, the game plan changes, all that stuff. You can see a complete drop-off in the energy and the momentum just with him being out.
So after getting very good field position after the short Barnhart punt, Green Bay has to punt it away, and Carl Williams has room. Breaks a couple of tackles, crosses the 35, and is tackled by Hendrick, the punter, at the 40-yard line. 48-yard punt, a 25-yard return by Williams, who is returning punts for the first time all season here today. So maybe the Buccaneers gaining a little life. We'll find out shortly.
Let's go.
It takes off to the right, and then it comes all the way back across the field. Questionable play here, maybe a clip. It was a clip. Jeff Gooch, or actually Curtis Jones, I think got a clip there.
Eric Redd, the ball carrier. Redd, if you're just joining us, stopped there by George Kuntz, but getting his first action today, the second-round pick. Hard to believe that Redd, who had just an absolutely spectacular college career at the University of Florida, lasted until the second round, the 34th overall selection that year.
The question on Redd was his speed. Okay, you know, he could run inside, but people question, could he turn the corner?
Redd will get it again. Oh, is he met right now by Sean Jones and the former Buccaneer Santana Dotson.
I thought it was interesting what Tony Dungy said yesterday about Santana Dotson. When he got here, he felt like the glue had already dried on keeping Santana Dotson in Tampa Bay. He wanted to keep Santana Dotson, but the regime before him was so down on him. The knack on the guy was that he couldn't play the run. And that's all he's been playing since he's been here, is the run. And getting pressure inside to the quarterback.
Receiver set for Dilfer and the Bucs on a 3rd and 8.
Sean just a bit offside.
Yeah, just a bit. Dilfer a free play.
He ought to let it fly downfield.
He's going to run for it and comes up well shy of the first down, but it looks as though they'll get another crack at it. Sean Jones starting, as you said, just a little quicker.
Unless he saw movement, I don't think so.
Nope.
Well, Sean Jones is the type of guy that you wonder where he shows up every year. Where do his sack numbers come from? You know, he doesn't do a lot.
5 yards. Repeat 3rd down.
He doesn't do a lot if you watch him, but yet he's always got those numbers. And one reason he's here is because of general manager Ron Wolf, who originally drafted him when Wolf was with the Raiders.
And Wolf, of course, the original architect of these Buccaneers, and got him to an NFC championship game.
Well, you know, that's one thing that you're going to see come into play more and more in professional sports as we go into the 2000s. The general manager, a guy who knows personnel, who's actually got the money in his hand, knows what to do with it.
Well, after the 5-yard penalty, it goes from 3rd and 8 to 3rd and 3. Dilfer to throw. With time, a strike, but I'm not sure, depending on the spot, if that's going to be good enough for a first down.
I don't think it is, unless he gets a very nice spot, which he looks like he did.
Well, it is very close.
Oh.
First down, they're saying. But Tony Dungy may have gotten a break from the officials. Because it didn't look like it from here, did it?
Not at all. See, the worst thing that happened to Tampa Bay so far this game is that mix-up on the punt. Go ahead, they punt the ball. If Barnhart doesn't try to throw it, you know, we're talking about a 7-0 game, possibly.
1st and 10 at midfield. This is Reggie Brooks. And he's wrapped up by number 93, Gilbert Brown, after a short game. And right now for a McDonald's game break. Let's return to JB at our Fox Television Center.
All right, Isaac Bruce was a big man on 2 plays. The first one, a 49-yard pass from Banks. This, an 8-yard touchdown strike from Tony Banks. The Rams on top of the Ravens, 10-0. Back to Green Bay. Tom Brennaman and Ron Fitz.
Fred Shermer, the defensive coordinator of this number 1 ranked Green Bay defense. But Tampa Bay into Packer territory at the 47-yard line, a 2nd and 7, and the pitch goes to Brooks, who has some room in front of him. But it closed up quickly, led by Brian Williams. And what a year this young man is having running.
Brian Williams came in here a couple of years ago and last year, and he had an abdominal pull. And he didn't play the whole year. And a lot of people, including the coaches, started to question his heart, whether or not he wanted to play the game and all that kind of stuff. We look at Ian Beckles, he's down. But the reason he's here in Fritz Shermer's defense is because of speed. The Packers felt like they weren't fast enough on the perimeters between the tackles. Well, they got Brian Williams who can fly. I mean, we're talking about a guy who can run a 4.5 40. Then you got George Kuntz, who flip-flopped. George Kuntz was outside last year. And then Wayne Simmons, who has just been tenacious. Boy, it's so good to talk to Fritz Shurmur about what he likes to do philosophy-wise with his defense. He said the linebackers, they got to have great vision, and they got to be able to run. They got to be able to knock down anything in between the tackles. He knows a little bit about linebackers. You remember he had that Eagles defense out at the Rams. That year when they went to the NFC Championship game, they played 5 linebackers on the defense because they got defensive linemen hurt. He knows how to utilize his personnel.
So Ian Beckles has to leave the game, and he'll be replaced by second-year player Joel Chrisman out of Southern Cal. Been waived a couple of times and now back in. 3rd and 6. And gunned over the middle of first down to the rookie Carl Williams. And he gets down to the 35-yard line. A big completion for Dilfer, who is now 5 of 7 in the game.
Carl Williams, the second rookie from Texas A&M Kingsville that's starting today. What is going on down in Texas A&M Kingsville?
The Javelinas of Texas A&M Kingsville.
Used to be Texas A&I. The only guy from Texas A&I I can remember right off the bat, Darryl Green. Right. That's a true stud from Texas A&I.
Ian Beckles is checked back, and that's good news for the Buccaneers. Play fake.
Well, he's got a man downfield.
Looking, wide open receiver, and the catch is made by Rob Thomas at the Green Bay 15-yard line. And what a throw by Dilfer. Thomas shaking up on the play.
Rob Thomas ran a sweet route, and it was set up by a very nice play action. Rob Thomas had the 2 big catches a week ago. Here he is. He's going to come down, give a nice stick in here, and then head out to the boundary. Very nice job of getting separation against Evans, the corner. Watch it here, but it's set up by the play action. Watch what happens to these guys from the play action. And the time is key. Look at them. They think it's run. Sticking into the corner. Very nicely done, and the throw is on time, folks. Whatever you think or want to say about Trent Dilfer, he stepped up and delivered on that play.
So after that completion, Dilfer now 6 out of 8. He's been very impressive here on this drive.
No interceptions the last 2 games. The guys made things happen.
1st and 10 at the 15. Allstott gets a carry, and he's met by Brian Williams, the leading tackler of this Packer defense. A short gain for Allstott.
Tampa Bay doing what Tony Dungy said they needed to do. Number 1. Stay in the game. Look at the time of possession. They're on the field. And guess who's off the field? You keep number 4 off the field. These are the kind of drives you like to have. Look at the clock rolling. Look at the plays. You get near 10 plays in a drive, you have done your job as an offensive team.
2nd and 7. Allstott and Brooks in the I formation, and Reggie will get it. Slips to the outside, cuts back inside. Met by a host of green and gold. And he'll be shy of the first down. It'll bring up a key 3rd down. We'll call it 3rd and 4. Butler and Evans on the stout.
Yeah, it's nice to have this drive and all that kind of good stuff, but it doesn't mean a darn thing if you don't put the ball in the end zone. Then it looks good, but you got to make something out of it. Tampa Bay cannot come away with any less than 3. They have to have 3 here.
They're thinking 6 on this 3rd and 4.
At least.
Packer fans will come alive at that end of the field, and now Dilfer wants a timeout. Play clock was down to 7, and the Buccaneers more than likely would not have gotten it off. So a huge 3rd down when we return to Lambeau Field. Our Aflac trivia question today. We'll give you that in just a moment. Well, here you go. The first Packers to be inducted into the NFL Hall of Fame. Think about that for a moment. 3rd down and 4. Ball at the 9-yard line, and Dilfer to throw. Steps up, and he missed his target. And an eye on the intended receiver out of the backfield, Mike Allstott. So the Buccaneers are forced into a field goal try.
And one of the reasons he missed his target, Reggie White coming around the corner, had that hand in his face and had to throw behind Allstott.
Boy, Dilfer had been terrific on 3rd down until that key play.
Yeah, but this isn't all bad for Tampa Bay. Like I said, they have to at least get 3 here.
Houston 10 of 13 on the season, and this will be a 27-yard field goal try. Good snap, good hold, and miss the kick left. Wow.
You know, a couple weeks ago, Michael Houston talked to us about his hips and kicking and all that. And if his hips swung away from the goalpost, then he had problems. Looks like he got his hips a little over-rotated to the left. I kind of just think he blew it. How about that?
And remember, Jim Pine normally does the snapping on field goal attempts, but with Pine injured, Dave Moore came in and made a very good snap right there.
The snap is there. It's on time. Now, those are the kind of things that will keep Tampa Bay down in the dumps. Those are the kind of things that make you 1-6.
Favre to throw on first down, and the completion made to Desmond Howard on the far side of the field out to the 26. So the Buccaneers, they achieve everything, Lonnie, you had talked about early on. They put together a drive of 11 plays, chewing up 6 minutes and 9 seconds, yet Tony Dungy's team comes away empty-handed.
Right, they made the big plays. They had the possession. They kept Favre off the field. They had been limiting the penalties and all that. Now they just have a miscue. They don't convert an easy field goal.
On the inside to William Henderson. And he has first down yardage out to the 34-yard line. If you're just joining us, Green Bay, another huge blow to their wide receiving core. It was Robert Brooks out for the season with a knee injury against San Francisco a couple of Mondays ago. And then today, a broken left forearm to their leading receiver, Antonio Freeman. He tried to break the tackle, but was wrapped up.
Nice shot by Chidi Ahanatu. Well, here's a guy that's been plugging away every single year that they keep bringing in guys to replace him. Here he is, right? He's going to shoot the gap. That's what Monty Kiffin has Tampa Bay playing, gap control. Every guy takes a gap and tries to make a play. That time he makes a play. But here's a guy, they went to him and asked him advice on what kind of player Reagan Upshaw was. Now, this is a guy that's going to come in and maybe take your job as a rookie. He gave him very high praise, said bring him in. Those are the kind of guys you want on your team.
Hard to throw on a 2nd and 10. And the catch, did he hang on the near side? Yes, a reception made by the rookie Derek Mays out of Notre Dame. And he appears to be just shy of the first down. Boy, Mays all of a sudden becomes a huge player in this Packer offense.
Watch the protection. Chidi Ahanatu right there. A little bit of that zone blitz concept, zone drop. 1 down, 2 down, very nicely done. There's a guy, had an outstanding preseason, dislocated his shoulder, and they've been waiting for him to come back, and you know they're trying to push him along. Look like they're checking his shoulder right there.
3rd down and less than a yard. Looked like a little mix-up there, but Henderson said, give me the football, and he carries off the right side for a Green Bay.
There's a lot of mix-up. Henderson bumps right into Edgar Bennett, then just snatches the ball from Brett Favre. Now they're talking about it. Hey, Henderson says, I got to get my carries. I don't get a lot of carries, and I got to get my carries. Got it there. Boy, that is a big man. He says, I want to be known as the linebacker boogeyman. I want to put fear in everybody. He studies in the offseason film on William Floyd and Johnston from Dallas.
Over the middle, open tight end, Mark Jamura, his 2nd reception today. And he's down to the Buccaneer 40-yard line. Jamura, as we brought up earlier, not caught a pass in the last 2 games.
Jamura looked like he got hurt a little bit there. On the right side of the screen, just going to hook up inside there, look at the void. Well, that's what he does a pretty good job of. You know, when he first came here, Sterling Sharp used to make jokes that he outslows people down the field. But he's also got a knack of getting open, and he's a big guy. Now he's on a knee. Looked like he got a shot to the side of his shoulder or something there. He came off pretty quick.
Packers couldn't ill afford any more injuries on the offensive side of the ball. Swing pass. He was Interception made by Edgar Bennett. Gain of a yard. Good coverage and read well by Martin Mayhew.
You see, the biggest problem with losing a guy like Brooks, not only the impact, big player stuff, but now when Antonio Freeman was healthy, he had to go play Z receiver. Now he's got to learn a whole bunch of different stuff from what he had going on at X receiver. Tremora back in the game now. So it's not just a problem in terms of losing playmakers. You have problems in terms of assignments. And that's the biggest problem for Mike Holmgren right now, is getting everybody up to speed on the same page.
2nd and 9. Good protection for Favre. Finds BB, his first catch of the afternoon. And he's to the 35. BB coming off the best game of his career. We've reached the 2-minute warning. Green Bay on the move, leading Tampa Bay 10-0. To our Aflac trivia question, the Packers' first inductees to the NFL Hall of Fame, and they were 1963, legendary Curly Lambeau, Al Hubbard, Don Hudson, and Johnny McNally.
That's Johnny Blood McNally. See, real Packer fans know that kind of stuff. A lot of people are getting on the Packer bandwagon lately here, but that's Johnny Blood McNally.
Yeah.
Remember that.
Boy, Hudson had...
Well, how about that Hudson Center down there?
Beautiful.
I mean, Green Bay has taken their facilities to another level. And they are definitely one of the tops in the NFL by far.
Big play here on a 3rd and 5. And Favre throws to the far side, and it's caught by Desmond Howard. And that will keep the drive alive for Green Bay. 1:47 left to go until halftime.
Tampa Bay cannot afford for Green Bay to score here. I mean, this is how you get routed. You miss a scoring opportunity at one end of the field. Green Bay goes on one of their famous drives down the field, and then you let them score at halftime. Now you go in down 17-0.
Favre's hit his last 7 straight passing. Here's Edgar Bennett trying to get out of bounds, and doesn't at the 26-yard line. Stop made by Derek Brooks. Well, they're saying he did get out of bounds, so the clock stops at 1:22. Green Bay, all 3 of their timeouts remain here in the opening half. 2nd down, we'll call it 9 at the Tampa Bay 26-yard line.
Checking off here.
Lost the ball, picks it up, and loses it again, and Favre finally able to cover it up. Warren Sapp right with him step for step. That could be a big play because they may be out of field goal range.
That's huge. That does take him, or it makes it a very long one. Here he's checking out of it, never gets the snap. Now he gets a snap, but look at Frank Winters. Frank Winters wondering, well, what's happening here? Luckily for Green Bay, they don't blitz Lonnie Martz, or excuse me, Hardy Nickerson inside, because if they do, they're going to capitalize off of that fumble. Warren Sapp coming into his own a bit, I would say, for this team. Really getting credit there for another sack, I guess. Now have 6.5 sacks.
Well, we remind you, coming up on the Dockers Khaki halftime report, JB, Terry, Howie, Ronnie will bring you scores and highlights from Week 9. Also a preview of today's Cowboys-Dolphins matchup. The commotion by the ocean, they're calling it. That's all coming up here on the Dockers halftime. I don't know if they're calling it that.
Well, that sounded good.
Man, it sure did. So a timeout spent by Green Bay. Packers have 2 left. So after the 9-yard loss, it's 3rd down and 18. Right now, Jackie would be looking at roughly a 53-yard field goal attempt. He hit that for the game winner against the Niners. Dropped on the throw by Don Beebe. That would have gotten them a little closer.
Well, you don't see that many times by Beebe. Protection's okay, but watch what happens to Michaels right here. Reagan Upshaw just tosses him. God, Beebe, the ball is right there.
Well, the Packers have elected not to try the long field goal. We talked about the wind today, creating chaos everywhere.
Now, that's huge, though, because, see, Tampa Bay has had a problem, especially in the first game, of giving up points late in the halves and going in down. This is not bad for them if they can just go in, if nothing worse, down 10-0.
Little pooch kick. Hendrick's been working on that. And the Packers are going to cover this one up. Well, Hendrick has been working all week long on the pooch kick. Now they're saying it went into the end zone, and it's a touchback. They'll bring it to the 20-yard line. And Ron Cox down there having something to say.
Well, what happened was Williams, it looked as though his foot was in the end zone when he touched the ball. Now, watch and see if Williams makes any contact at all with the goal line. Right there, okay, right there, he's in the end zone, and that ball came up and hit him in the chest. That's why they're calling that a touchback.
Good officiating.
That's a tough call to make.
Well, we beat up on those guys in the zebra shirts when they foul up, and we may as well give a little pat on the back. Ronnie, everybody needs that every now and then. A little pat on the back.
That's right. I need it a lot more than most with this crew. Well, you know, you get here, and as soon as you arrive in town, you have that feel, don't you?
Oh, yeah.
That you're someplace special. And it's always been like that. I mean, it was like that when my father played here. It was like that when I played here. 100% of the support is to the Green Bay Packers.
For too many men on the field on the receiving team, we're going to check the previous spot.
All right, while Dale Hamer gets everything sorted out, we remind you today's bird's eye views being provided by the new Miller Eagle. The Miller Eagle, specially equipped airplane being tested by Miller Brewing, as a new way of providing aerial coverage on sports television. And we thank the Eagle for car race coverage, baseball and football right here on Fox. I wanted to go for a little ride for that baby this morning. Give it a chance that those guys had the first seat.
Could have put a hard hat on.
Too many men on the receiving team, 5 yards, previous spot, we will re-kick.
Well, after all of the commotion, 5 yards would not be nearly enough to give Green Bay an automatic first down.
Boy, you know, they just have to go strictly on a count. Somebody's count out there. I mean, they couldn't go back and double check it and look and count to see how many guys were out there. That's why Tony wants to know. And if you spot too many men on the field, call it when it happens.
Right.
Call it now. Don't wait for the punt to go down and then do it.
But Tony Dungy is still giving Dale Hamer an earful. The key question, of course, would be, would 5 yards change the thinking of Mike Holmgren, meaning Jackie for a field goal attempt?
Right, and there's Jackie right there. Of course it does.
Well, you see the Jackie that we mentioned a little while ago, the 53-yarder to beat San Francisco in overtime. And Jackie, one of the long-distance field goal kickers in the NFL. He's hit 17 field goals from 50 or more yards. His career long is 54. Back in 94 at Detroit.
Well, I tell you what, if I'm anywhere inside the 50 by a hair, I'm giving it to Chris Jackie. I'm going to let him kick it.
Well, the ball was on the 35-yard line.
Right.
It would move him to the 30. So now the spot of a field goal attempt would be at the 37. And that's exactly where they're going to mark it, and Jackie is on the field.
Now you got some wind out there. If you look at the streamers on the post, they are moving to the left as Jackie looks at it. A lot of people were missing to the left. He missed to the left a couple times in pregame warm-up.
Now this will be a 48-yard field goal try for Jackie. Puts a leg on it.
Ooh, you see that wind?
Ball by Jackie, and it is good. Started left, went right, a little draw back over. And so a big penalty cost Green Bay. It's 13-0.
What do you want to see?
How do you make a call that late with too many men on the field? I don't understand that.
Well, you know, they told me, Ronnie, and you would know this, spending so much time here, the key with wearing a cheese head is you need the point directly in front.
The point's key.
Right.
Right. I got such a pointed head anyway. I got to wear mine slightly tilted to the left.
Carl Williams takes the kick from Jackie and finds room. 2 men to beat. And Williams brings it all the way back to the 44-yard line. The only 2 Packers back were Doug Evans and the kicker. And that's a 43-yard return for Williams, who's been very impressive returning kicks for the first time this year here today.
Take a look at Jackie's field goal again. Watch what the wind does to this ball. I thought it was no good right there. Look at that. It's outside the field goal and then comes back in. You know, Elijah's got a tee shot that looks something like that.
Well, Phil Negro used to throw a pitch a lot like that knuckleball. 13-0, 50 seconds left to play until halftime, and Dilfer's going to try to get some points. Fires and knocked down. Beautiful coverage by Mike Pryor, the 11-year veteran out of Illinois State. He just keeps hanging around. Spent time with Indianapolis, Tampa Bay, and now with the Packers.
See, the problem now when you have 4 good rushers like Green Bay does, if you're Tampa Bay, it's hard to get a lot of people out in the rush. They got to keep people in to help block on guys like Reggie White.
Second and 10 at the 44, and Dilfer in trouble. Being chased by Dotson. Heaves a ball.
That's a dangerous throw.
That's an interception.
That's a bad throw.
Eugene Robinson comes up with the 21st.
And he found a new place to sit. He said, well, I'm at the 40-yard line. I can't run to either end zone, so I'll just go on the side. That's good, because those people up there, they never get to get in on that action.
Only.
Yeah. He jumped over the pylon there and then jumped up in the stand. Eugene Robinson has been getting a lot of these lately, throw-ups, and they're great. They could send you to the Pro Bowl. I mean, he doesn't do anything special there. He just gets the ball. That's his 4th interception. Trent's first mistake. He should not throw this ball. I know he's trying to make something happen, but this is the part I like. He's giving the people on that side of the stadium a little something. Hey, he had a seat. He just didn't jump on. He turned around and had a seat.
Well, Favre's going to try to get some more points for the Packers. And a wide open receiver out of the backfield. Dorsey Levens brings it out to the 40-yard line. Green Bay has 2 timeouts remaining. And now they use 1. Clock stopping with 30 seconds left. And Green Bay looking to add to a 13-0 lead.
Look at the turnovers there. The Tampa Bay, the last 2 minutes of this half. They just can't seem to get out of a half. It went from being 10-0, when you said, okay, they can get out like that. Then they had the controversial too many men on the field. Jackie makes a field goal, 13-0. Now, you get an interception, you still got 30 seconds on the clock to work with.
6 defensive backs check in. They blitz with Leggett. Wide open receiver over the middle is Derek Mays. And he has a first down to the Tampa Bay 49, and that's where Brett Favre will again ask for timeout. The final timeout for Green Bay here in the first half.
Derek Mays is a guy coming across the field. He's going to end up on the other side. They call this the shallow drag route. And really, Lynch, if he doesn't slip down, he's going to make a blow-up hit. But Mays is the type of guy coming from Notre Dame. A lot of people really felt that he didn't get coaching at Notre Dame. I mean, nobody worked with him. And when he came here, it was Gil Haskell's job, his desire to spend time with Derek Mays and say, hey, this is what I think you can do. Talking to Max McGee, the former Packer, said, I love this guy's speed down the field. Next to BB, he's the fastest man on the roster right now. They need for him to get better every week, especially with the injuries.
21 seconds left until halftime. 1st and 10, the ball in midfield, and Green Bay already a 13-0 lead. Favre steps up and has nothing but grass in front of him. Elects to throw, and it's caught out of bounds. Lynch went and got it, but could not get the feet down in time.
Boy, outstanding job by Lynch. These safeties for Tampa Bay have been playing outstanding. Now he's going to be over here on this side. He's going to get a great break on the ball. There he is right there. Watch this interception. I mean, if it wasn't for the fact that he had to make such a run at the ball, he would have been able to get his feet down. Now, Desmond Howard has got to try to come back to the football. You just can't stand there. That is one thing that he's got to get better, and that's Herman Edwards right there. You remember him, of course, Thom, the former defensive back of the Philadelphia Eagles. He has brought tenacity to this defensive team. The safeties are making plays.
Favre dropped. back at the 47-yard line for the second time today. This time it's Chidi Ahamatou getting his second sack of the year. And the clock will crank back up. And this should end the first half. Green Bay's not going to run another play. They're not going to have time. It doesn't appear as though they will. And they don't. So that is that. For the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, you look back on this first half, Ronnie, and they are very much in the game. It's 13-0 now. It should be a lot less than that.
Absolutely. It goes back to the little dumb things that always happen. The Barnhart situation. I can't blame that on Tony Dungy. He made the call. Barnhart, if he doesn't see what he wants, punt the ball. They messed that up. Then the missed field goal.
Well, that's the end of the first half. 13-0 Green Bay. Stay tuned for the Dockers halftime as Fox NFL Sunday continues after these messages from your local.
He's going to be the one that has to get his game going. And I brought up Anthony Morgan. You know, Mike Holmgren told us the other day, Morgan is upset. They let him go. He didn't talk to anybody when he left. And he's still bitter about the whole situation. Packers may have to go back to Morgan one more time because it keeps getting worse for him.
Well, the kickoff sails into the end zone, and Williams is going to bring it out. And he is tackled by Jerby at the 20-yard line. So that's where Trent Dilfer will put it in play. Not a bad opening half for Dilfer. You see 6 of 11. The one interception, but it didn't mean much there in the final moments of the opening half. Favre, a slow start, connected eventually on 7 in a row, but not big yardage, and he's minus a touchdown pass thus far.
Green Bay has not come out here and blown the roof off the place, that's for sure. Tampa Bay just hasn't taken advantage of some of those scoring opportunities they've had. But I think all in all, they've had good protection for Dilfer, and they've moved the ball. What's key now? What kind of adjustments were made in the locker room for both teams?
Eric Rhett starts the second half in the Tampa Bay backfield, gets the carry, and maybe got a yard. Met head-on by Gilbert Brown. Rhett, 4 carries now on the game for a total of, let's check, 7 yards.
We keep talking about Rhett coming back, and you know, he bounced around out there in pregame warm-up, and he told me, I feel pretty good, and his coaches say he feels good. But, you know, until a guy actually goes out there and takes hits, you don't know what he's going to do. In fact, Tony Nathan, the former Dolphin running back, he is a running back coach for Tampa Bay. He said the guy looked in better shape after the minicamp than he did after the first minicamp.
Rhett will get the carry again, and again there's not much there. Well, Eric Rhett still certainly means a great deal to this offense, and now he's back as a Buck.
The Tampa Bay Buccaneers' identity offensively is not Trent Dilfer, and it's not Alvin Harper or the offensive line or the receiving core or whatnot. It's Eric Rhett. Has been for the last 2 years, and I think it will be the rest of this year, and hopefully a long time in the future will continue to be. We are better when we know that there's continuity in the backfield. And when we can have a Michael Allstott and Eric Rhett back there at the same time, week in, week out, 65 plays a game, that identity is going to be developed.
3rd down and 8 for the Buccaneers, and Dilfer to throw under big pressure. Air balls down the sideline and unable to hang on. The intended receiver, Carl Williams. So the Buccaneers on their opening possession here in the second half, 3 and out.
Yeah, but that's the second time today now somebody's gotten behind Doug Evans. Williams has to make the catch. Dilfer put the ball in his hands. He had 2 hands on the ball. You know, he's getting out here. This is new for him. He's a rookie and all that kind of stuff. But he's got to step up and start making plays. This team needs people to make a big play.
Barnhart to punt, another low snap. And he gets the kick away. The wind certainly could be trouble, but Howard fields cleanly, breaks a couple of tackles, loses the ball. And Tampa Bay is recovered. It looked as though Desmond Howard had nothing but green in front of him, but he spit it up after the 45-yard punt. And Johnson covers it up, a big play. That's what you were talking about.
There's the big play right there. Desmond Howard, what did Mike Holmgren say? He said that this guy is coming in and making some good plays. Tony Bowie coming from the right part of your screen. Bam! There goes the rock. You know, this is when a punt returner is most susceptible to giving up the ball because he sees nothing but daylight. And you know, you need the thing to bounce in your way sometime. That ball came out of his hands and bounced right into Melvin Johnson's hand.
So let's see if Tampa Bay can take advantage of the turnover. They'll start the drive at the 44-yard line, and the give is to Rhett, and his first substantial run of the game, crossing midfield, tackled at the 49 by Eugene Robinson, but Rhett a gain of 7.
It's obvious they keep trying to run on that left side, the right side of the Green Bay Packers. One criticism of Sean Jones in the past has been, how does he play against the run? And another thing is they're not going to run at number 92, Reggie White. Allstott doing a pretty decent job of blocking, even though that's kind of been his weak point in the past, but it's clearly their game plan to hammer that side of the field.
2nd and 3. Rhett stays in the game, and again will get the ball. And he has a first down. Crossing the Green Bay 45, tackled to the 43 by Sean Jones. One injury, by the way, for the Buccaneers, we learned at halftime. Rob Thomas, who has played so well, filling in at wide receiver. A mild concussion will not return. So that's a big one with Thomas out.
That is a huge thing for them. But once again, they went right back to the right side of the field. Another amazing thing about that, George Diaz is a rookie starting at left guard. Apparently, they have a lot of confidence in him. One of his strong points is being able to run block.
Rhett will get his 8th carry of the game. And this one maybe picks up 1 or 2. Eric Rhett 8 carries, now for 21 yards.
Yeah, that's 3 straight times running to Green Bay's defensive. I would expect Fritz Sherman now to take Leroy Butler and bounce him around on that other side. You got to give Reggie White his respect. You know, Reggie White isn't just a great player from a physical standpoint. He's a great player from a person standpoint. You know, he's a guy that plays 100% all the time, and his attitude is infectious.
Allstott, the lone setback. Dilfer, good protection. And maybe a little too much on the throw through the hands of the intended receiver, Courtney Hawkins.
I'm impressed at the protection, though, that Trent Dilfer is getting. You just mentioned that. Watch the way he's going to get a pocket here. He gets to the end of his drop, and he's going to throw the ball. You can't ask for more than that. Dilfer a little bit off touch there, but that's the kind of protection and vision down the field through passing lanes that you got to give him. Yeah, look at that, running away from Reggie White. No rushes to the right side. What do you think of that, pal?
Might want to ask 92.
He got mad at me at practice the other day. I was sitting down on the cart. He said, Ron, there's no sitting here. Get up. So I got up.
3rd and 8.
That's why I got up.
And talking about Reggie White. The man is just absolutely a remarkable player.
You know, he's got the perfect combination of strength. Look at the way he just walks Riesenberg back into the quarterback. And the worst part about that, he'll do that one play, and then he'll run around you on the outside, and then after that, he'll club you coming back inside. You know, those are called guys who can affect the tempo of the game, the flow of the game. He just affected it right there.
Tampa Bay missing a chance after the fumble by Desmond Howard. We'll get another try, and we talked about the wind today, creating problems back there, but Howard able to hang on just a 24-yard punt. So Green Bay gets a football when we come back with a 13-0 lead. Lambeau Field, Green Bay, Wisconsin, 13-0. The Packers in front, 10:25 to play here in the 3rd quarter. Desmond Howard in motion on a 1st and 10 for Favre, who drops it off over the middle to Henderson out of the backfield, crossing the 35. There goes the ball. Squirts loose. Did Tampa Bay recover yet another fumble? The Buccaneers say they have the football. No, the Packers have recovered.
Boy, you could just see a hit coming. Aaron Taylor looks like he got it. You could just see a hit coming against Henderson. Henderson doing a nice job of showing some catching ability, then run after the catch. But a good job of the sandwich here. Abraham right there. He knocks that ball out. And then Mayhew coming from the inside. Nickerson was there too. Now there's Nickerson on the chase. Now Lonnie Johnson right there. Melvin Johnson with the hit. I think Melvin Johnson did it.
Well, it's a 1st and 10. And they're going to hand it off to Edgar Bennett. Back inside, and he brings it to the 49. Well, right now, McDonald's game break time, and let's return to our main man, James Brown, at our Fox Television Center.
Tom, Chris Chandler struggling for the Oilers, but not Al Del Greco. Take a look at that 56-yarder, his career longest in the NFL this season. Houston nursing a 3-point lead at the half. Back to Tom and Ron.
Ronnie, we had a chance to see Houston last year, and you can become a believer in Jeff Fisher in a hurry. This guy's a good coach.
Yeah, San Francisco, I think, is a team struggling right now. And that's why it's so important for Green Bay to make sure that they catch the ball, number one. Number two, get home field advantage in a playoff situation.
Well, Desmond Howard had that one hit him right in the sternum.
Please report to
That had knocked over most mortal men.
33.
Chestectomy.
What?
Chestectomy. That's what they say when you drop a ball. That's a football term.
All right, I'll never order that.
Don't ever use it either.
Well, Favre without a touchdown pass today. 3rd and 2, and he's checking off. Good protection. And did he get the feet down in bounds? No!
This is going to be a fight. This is going to be a fight. Look at Mike. Well, we'll see it here.
It was good. It was close.
Look at Favre. No chin strap button. Now there's one. It's hard to see from this angle whether that second one was down. You'll see it here. One. Oh, that's a good call. Good call. That's what you call working the official. Mike is standing there. He knows that play is outbound. But you got to work it.
Hendrick very high into the air. Williams signals for a fair catch. And takes it cleanly at the 15, 36-yard loop. 8:34 to play in the third. Still 13-0 Green Bay. Thom Brennaman, Ron Pitts. Our entire Fox crew back at Lambeau Field in Green Bay. 1st and 10 from the Buccaneers, starting at their own 15-yard line, trailing 13-0. Dilfer, open receiver. Dave Moore, the tight end, across the middle to the 33, and a late flag comes in.
Nice catch. Now there's a guy you don't see much. Dave Moore filling in for the injured Jackie Harris. The Bucs have not used a tight end much at all this year.
Five yards.
Well, a 17-yard gain will turn that into a 22-yarder after the 5-yard face mask penalty.
21.
There's Moore right there. He's going to come around and work in the inside of the field. Nice throw. Appreciate the catch. I mean, that's a great catch there by Dave Moore. And then 21 Newsom comes by and gets the face mask later on.
The give is to Allstott out of the backfield, and he drags a couple of tacklers along to the right. George Kuntz. And you hear the crowd. They're not booing, they're saying Kuntz on the stop.
Here's a guy in Allstott. We talked about his ability as a fullback to run with halfback skills. That's what they liked with him coming out of Purdue. Catches the ball well out of the backfield. We saw that. Blocking has been his weak part. He needs to work on lead blocking, getting up in there and throwing the hammer on somebody.
Simmons is checked out. Mike Pryor becomes a 5th member of the Packers secondary here on 2nd and 8. And Dilfer, good protection. Throws underneath, and Allstott dropped it.
That play was the Allstott again, but you know, we talked about some of the things Allstott does and why he's got those halfback type moves. Just look at him at Purdue.
That might have been the only game they won.
You are an Ohio State guy. And here's a shot of him catching out of the backfield. Watch this effort. To me, Allstott in the beginning of the season was the only guy consistently making plays. Hopefully they'll get more people making plays.
Third down and 8. And Dilfer fires to the far side. What a catch made by number 86, Carl Williams, the rookie out of Texas A&M Kingsville. He had blanket-like coverage against Tyrone Williams.
Well, he had 4 catches last week against Arizona. He's just going to do a comeback, and he knows where the first down marker is. That's key. He gets beyond the first down marker. You can't have any better coverage than that. The only thing Williams can try to do is get that ball out of there.
And they like the future of Tyrone Williams.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Tyrone Williams has excellent coverage on that play.
First down, the ball in midfield. Tampa Bay can find a way to score a touchdown. They're right back in this one. And this is Eric Rett. He may have lost a yard or two.
That play there, every time they try to run that play on the left side and pull Ian Beckles from the backside, it gets slammed. And it gets slammed because of penetration. Now Beckles is here. He's going to pull and try to get a block. But watch the green shirts that appear. Sean Jones does a pretty nice job there of stopping that play up. He recognized what it was. They're going to try to come around and trap him. He recognizes and takes on the trap blocker.
Well, they call it no gain on the play. So 2nd and 10. Dilfer tried to hit more across the middle. I'd say it is amazing the coverage of this Packers secondary. That time Eugene Robinson, every time a Dilfer has dropped back to throw, the majority of the game today, Ronnie, a Packer has been step for step with an intended Tampa Bay receiver.
This defense is solid all the way around, but the cornerbacks, especially Craig Newsome right there, probably should go to the Pro Bowl this season. Maybe the only reason he won't, interception numbers. That's the only reason. But I also got to go back and say, hey, you show me a Pro Bowl corner, I'll show you a Pro Bowl corner that had a great pass rush. That's what he's got right now, a great pass rush.
3rd and 10, big play for the Buccaneers, and Dilfer wants it all. Penalty flag down on the field. The intended receiver was Carl Williams. And let's see what this is all about. Pass interference against Tampa Bay, or rather against Green Bay.
When you see that flag thrown in that position of the field, Tom, it can only mean a defensive interference penalty.
The defense, 5 yards, first down.
I think that's on Doug Evans. They tried to run an out and up. Right here, going to come down, go out, stutter, and then take it up the field. They've been trying to get Doug Evans all day long on this route. They're working on him. There's a stutter, and they did get him. You know what? Doug Evans does something very smart. He makes contact. Give him that one. Don't give him the touchdown.
See the penalty story today. This one giving the Buccaneers an automatic first down, keeping this drive alive. Under 6 minutes in the third. Allstott wide open out of the backfield, makes the reception, and has a Tampa Bay first down to the 34-yard line.
Now, I asked Tony Dungy what this offense was yesterday. Do they know what they are? And I think in the last 4 weeks, Tom, something's happened. They are more consistent, and they're controlling the football. They're keeping the ball. They're keeping Brett Favre off the field. I mean, look at this. Third quarter alone, 14 plays. Once again, that's nice to look at, and it looks good. But if you don't get it in the end zone and make something out of it, it's useless.
Courtney Hawkins in motion, and a short gain on the give to Allstott. It'll bring up second down for the Buccaneers. Well, we go back to the first half, and Tampa Bay had a long drive, consumed 6 minutes, 9 seconds, but they did not score.
Gilbert Brown just hammered Mayberry right here. He ruins this whole play. Look at that. I mean, it's hard to run when the center's butt is in your face.
Great break. And Dilfer will just throw it away. A good decision making there by Trent Dilfer.
I think Trent learned after the last one.
He only weighs 300.
That's
they have him listed at 325, but no way.
You talk about no way. You are not going to pick up Reggie White with Reggie Brooks. They may have the same first name, but the talent difference is way big.
Bigger than Gilbert Brown.
You're on Gilbert's side.
I like Gilbert.
You know, we got to come back up here next week.
He's an all-pro player.
You'll be calling him Mr. Gilbert Brown.
Absolutely. Third down and 9 for Tampa Bay. They're only down 13-0 under 5 minutes here in the third quarter. Three receivers check in, and Dilfer a deep drop. And a deep throw in and out of the hands of the intended receiver, Courtney Hawkins, and broken up by Doug Evans. Now, do you think if you're Tampa Bay about going for it here at the roughly 4-yard line?
I think he's got to go for it. You know, it's
you called it.
From a momentum standpoint only. You know, if he gets those 3 points back in the second quarter from Houston, it might be a different game. But now you're flirting. You're walking that thin line between being out of it and then staying in it. I think he's got to try and go for it.
The Buccaneers this season, 4 of 11 on 4th downs. This is a 4th and 9. They need to get to the 24-yard line for a first. And Dilfer lost the ball. Finds
He's got to try to make something happen.
Runs into his own man and throws deep, juggled, and it's picked off by Doug Evans. Well, you knew that was disaster right from the very start. Dilfer fumbled it, ran into his own man, and then threw into double coverage, and it's intercepted.
That was like our promo. Disaster.
That's like out of the Three Stooges, that play.
To even throw this ball. They had a double coverage downfield with Mike Pryor and Evans. I thought Courtney Hawkins was going to end up with that ball. See, Courtney Hawkins has actually gotten behind Doug Evans. But this isn't all bad for Tampa Bay defense if they can make this happen.
On first down, a short gain by William Henderson. Takeaway certainly has been the key for this Green Bay Packer team. 22 interceptions through the first 7+ games, including today. Last year, a grand total of 13. They're number 1 in the giveaway takeaway ratio for the season.
And last year, they were last in the NFC in interception. That's one thing Mike Holmgren said we got to get better at. Bringing in Eugene Robinson, I think, helped him in that area. He may not have the burst speed and blazing speed to do things, but he's a smart guy and he will be in position.
Second down and 7, and Dilfer to throw a little bit short, so having to fall while making the catch was Desmond Howard. A big 3rd down coming up for this Tampa Bay defense, already trailing 13-0 and the clock winding down under 3:40 in the 3rd.
Tom, can you see the way the offense for Green Bay has kind of turned it down a notch? I think Mike Holmgren has said, hey, okay, losing a Robert Brooks is one thing. You have an off week to prepare for him and get a game plan. But then when Antonio Freeman goes down, now you got to step back and say, whoa. I think he's saying that we're going to try to run this game and get out of here. Run the ball.
3rd down and 4, short drop, far side, and the intended receiver, Beebe, makes a reception and a first down at the 17.
Nice play by Beebe, very close. Here's the only thing I question, and this is what Donnie Abraham needs to work on, game strategy. Down and distance, very short. Come up, look where the first down marker is. Don't give him that much. Look how close he got anyway. If he's playing maybe another yard or 2 up close to the line, or even bump and run, Green Bay may be punting the ball right now.
Instead, it's a first down. And Edgar Bennett gets the carry, short yardage. Lonnie Martz in on the tackle.
Coming into this game for Green Bay, the question was the tackle. Ken Rutgers on the physically unable to perform list the last couple weeks. He comes off of it. Actually, since the beginning of the year, he comes off of it after having 2 knee surgeries in the offseason. They didn't know if he was going to be able to go. And then Michaels didn't know if he was going to be able to play. He's been bothered by a right knee injury.
Out of the backfield, Edgar Bennett drops the throw from Favre. Mayhew on the coverage, so another 3rd down coming up for Favre and company.
Getting a little bit sloppy here. A lot of drops. Desmond Howard had to drop. Now, Edgar Bennett with the drop. Mike Holmgren has to be thinking right now how he's going to handle this situation this week. What is he going to have to change? This is not where you want to be heading into in November. You look at the Super Bowl teams, people keep talking about what this team has to do to get there. The Super Bowl teams stay healthy.
3rd down and 7. Jason Manecki, a rookie out of Wisconsin, seeing a lot of playing time along the defensive line. First catch of the game for Keith Jackson. And it's a big one to the 30-yard line. They'll move the chains.
Keith Jackson. Mike Holmgren made Keith promise him when he came up here this year that he wouldn't complain about not starting. And he promised Mike that he wouldn't complain. Because Keith Jackson maybe was on his way to New Orleans or even Miami or going maybe into the booth. He was thinking about getting out of football altogether.
Inside handoff to Edgar Bennett, breaks a couple of tackles and slivers his way to the 39-yard line. Brett Favre has gone 17 consecutive games of getting a touchdown passes. There you see Antonio Freeman. You weren't with us earlier. Injured with a broken left arm. Going for a reception.
You know, depending on what type of break that is, he may or may not be able to come back and play very soon, like next week or so. And it's something they can pad up. That's one thing. But when you break a forearm, that affects how you grip things. So that may be the bigger problem. Not that it's the break, but just having to strengthen his arm to catch the ball.
And Freeman, even when Robert Brooks was healthy, Freeman was the leading Green Bay Packers receiver this season.
Isn't it amazing how people forgot about Sterling Sharp with Robert Brooks? Robert Brooks came in, and when Sterling left, people said, well, that's it. The Green Bay Packers are in trouble. They'll never replace Sterling Sharp. 2 years later, they're all talking about Robert Brooks. Now Brooks goes down, and the same talk started with Antonio Freeman having to come in and be the guy. And I think they got to go back into the pot again. Somebody's got to step up. One thing I noticed at training camp this year, watching the Packers, they have a lot of depth at wide receiver, and there's a good thing for it. Because this is a part of the year where you need everybody healthy. It's a long, long season. The bye week for them really came at a perfect time. Last week, right in the middle of the season.
Well, they missed on the second down try, so it'll bring up third down and maybe an inch, if even that. Under a minute to play here in the third quarter. Green Bay holds a 13-0 lead. Bennett in motion. Stick his nose in there, a little turn and a roll, and it's good enough for a first down, and more than likely the final play here in the third quarter. Tony Dungy's Buccaneers have hung in there quite well. With a blocked punt by Reggie White in the early part of the game, and then a missed field goal after an 11-play, 6-minute and 9-second drive. Houston missing a key 27-yard field goal, and Mike Holmgren's club has been just good enough. So we move on to the fourth quarter. 13-0 Green Bay. Fox NFL Sunday will continue after these messages from your local Fox station. This is a rookie. He had been on the physically unable to perform list since August the 20th. Had arthroscopic knee surgery twice and has been very stiff. Favre will be stiff after taking a shot there, and he nearly had an interception thrown into the arms of John Lynch, and Nickerson delivered a huge hit.
Yeah, going back to Rutgers. Now there's Rutgers right there. He hurt that left knee. In fact, they say he's got little or no cartilage in that knee. I mean, that's like walking around. That's like driving a car without shock absorber. I mean, that's tough on you.
Ken Rutgers at left tackle.
And their plan was to come into this thing and kind of spot play Rutgers. You know, they almost had to cut him because the rules under the physically unable to perform list are that if you come off for 3 weeks, they got to make a move with you one way or another.
Second down, no gain. Let's send it back to our Fox Television Center. McDonald's game break and James Brown.
All right, Tom, and we're going to take you to Baltimore, show you Vinny Testaverde driving his team downfield. Picked off by Todd Light, his third interception. Takes it in for the score. 2017 Rams. And Miami, Jerry Jones, obligatory handshake only, yes indeed, with Jimmy. That game coming up at 4, Dallas at Miami. Back to Tom and Ron.
You know what's wrong with Baltimore? You cannot come out and play with all purple. That looked like ice cream. They got to switch that up.
Third down and 12. Favre goes to the near side, catches Nate sticking his nose right into traffic, Desmond Howard, but he is short of a first down, and a penalty flag comes down on the play. Well, Desmond Howard showing a little toughness there.
There's Rutgers again right here. Let's watch him.
Personal foul, hit out of bounds. Number 47 of the defense. That's 15 yards. First down.
You know, the biggest problem Rutt will have right now as we look at... Well, I've seen later than that. The biggest problem Rutt could have right now is from a strength standpoint. You saw the way he kind of got pushed back there. He may not be 100% leverage-wise and be able to stuff people like he'd like to. But Rutt has never been a real stuffer. He's always been a technique guy. I mean, few people in his heyday were able to shut out Richard Dent, and he was one of them that did it.
First down after the 15-yard. A little flea flicker action at Favre. A wide open receiver, Desmond Howard, and overshot.
Watch the way three linebackers react to when Edgar Bennett gets the ball. Actually, they're pretty darn good. They stayed back in the hole. Brett Favre just has a little bit too much on the ball. And I thought, as we look at the fake here, see, they never really sold Hardy Nickerson. I mean, if you sell that right, Hardy Nickerson's going to be all the way up in the play. That's Gil Haskell, the wide receiver coach for Green Bay, trying to sneak one in on Tampa Bay there.
Second down, short drop, quick throw to BB, sidesteps away, and able to still wrap him up was Donnie Abraham. Close to a first down as BB lunged ahead. Take a look at the drive, over 6 minutes. 15th play coming up, and almost 75 yards, and now all of a sudden Don Beebe limping a little.
They can't afford that. And you know a guy who they did not activate today, who I guarantee you will be activated next week, Terry Mickens, without a doubt. I think he got it right there. Somebody dove on his leg. Maybe coming off of a great game against San Francisco.
Whoa, boy. 11 receptions, 220 yards, a 59-yard touchdown. The yards at third highest in Packer history. And bear in mind, BB all of last season had 152 receiving yards, just 14 grabs with Carolina.
You know, BB has a knack in him to get rolling and make big play after big play. Saw it in Buffalo in that AFC Championship game, the famous AFC Championship game against Houston, when they came back from being down 33 some odd points at halftime. I mean, he just made play after play after play.
Third down again in inches, and again Favre will keep it. And, well, we'll see about this. Favre, you saw him lean the ball out, trying to get a better spot. I don't think it matters if he got it or not. They would go for it at this point. Deep into Tampa Bay territory of the 24, and it is good enough for a first down.
I get the sense that Green Bay right now is moving in for the kill on Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay defensively has hung in there. They've made some big plays. Offensively, they've gotten down, held the ball, gotten down toward the 20, and just can't do anything with it. Then they've had the turnover. They had the field goal that went wide to the left. They can't convert it into points in the red area.
First down pitch to Edgar Bennett. And he's able to get maybe a yard or two to the 22-yard line. Edgar Bennett today on the ground, 15 carries, 72 yards.
I thought it was interesting what Mike Holmgren said about the bye week. He said, I've been a real jerk this last week. I've tried to humiliate this team because I don't want a lull. You know, like we talked about in the open, you coming off the San Francisco game, a huge win, and then you have that bye and you sit around and read the clippings and people pat you on the back and tell you how great you are for a whole week. It's easy to slip up in this game.
Dorsey Levens tripped up. Terrific play made by the strong safety John Lynch. And that'll go for a 2-yard loss.
You're not going to tell me that the fact that Tony Dungy here, a former great NFL safety, is coaching your team, that doesn't make you play better as a safety, because all of a sudden the safeties for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers have turned it on. Last week I thought they were going to kill LaShawn Johnson. I mean, they just came down the pipe and made hit after hit after hit. There's a guy that almost played baseball.
Well, he did. In the minor leagues, in fact, through the very first pitch in Florida Marlins franchise history at Erie, New York. Former high draft pick elected to play NFL football rather than baseball. And Favre on third down. Scrambles away from trouble, looks for Jackson. Waiting, touchdown.
Well, they had a pumpkin roll on the field. I thought they were going to call the play. And they got a flag.
Yes, I got a feeling that Favre was dangerously close to being over the line.
He might have been. That's a great call, Tom.
Threw the ball after he crossed the line of scrimmage.
No way.
5 yards, spotted a pass, lost it down.
Yes, lost it down, and so...
you hear him say, no way?
That was very close.
See, when he rolls to that side of the field, the 25 is the line of scrimmage. It's that line right there he's on. He's well beyond it. Brett Favre rolling to his right is like Joe Montana when he rolled to his right. The thing the Minnesota Vikings did that had so much success a couple weeks ago when they beat him there was that they blitzed him, avoiding him rolling to his right side.
So now Jackie on for what will be a 46-yard field goal try. Hendrick the hold, Jackie the boot. This one's not coming back, and it's wide left. So the penalty nullifies a touchdown. Jackie misses the field goal try, and Tampa Bay still hanging in there, down by 13.
The first thing I'm thinking of is what's going to happen now with the replacement of Antonio Freeman. Broken left arm, left forearm.
And the give is to Eric Rett. Spins away from a would-be tackler and crosses the 40 to the 41-yard line. Eric Rett on the afternoon, 10 carries and now 26 yards. As you see Antonio Freeman, who's came back out of the Packer locker room.
Anthony Morgan is invaluable right now. He knows the system. See, that's the problem with going out and getting a guy for a Holmgren's offense, a West Coast offense like this. Very complicated. You just can't go get a guy. Morgan may be able to call his own number now.
And he pitches a rest. Broke one tackle, grabbed around the head, dangerously close to a face mask. And he's pushed out of bounds at the 43 by Eugene Robinson.
Yeah, I got to tell you, I'm kind of surprised at how good Rhett does look for a guy that has not done anything since the first mini camp back in March, April down in Tampa Bay. You know, and you talk about guys having to play in training camp and all that kind of stuff. That's what happens when you're young. And I've seen guys get flagged for that late out of bounds.
Rob Thomas, we told you he had a concussion earlier, would not return. He is now back in the game on a 3rd and 5, 4-receiver set. Carl Williams also checking in, and a delay to Jerry Ellison that didn't fool anybody. You have to wonder about the play calling for Tampa Bay right there on 3rd down, trailing 13-0 with 10 minutes left in the game.
I think the bigger question, though, is what do you do now?
Well, it looks like they've made their decision, Ronnie. They're going to go for it.
I think you have to. And now, you know, first thing Trent's got to do, hold on to the ball. Rick Shermer there. Oh, Fritz hoping for a safety. I don't think so, Fritz.
Well, we're going to call it 4th and 2. The ball just across the 44. They're 0 for 1 on 4th down today. 4 of 12 on the season, and Dilfer to throw. First down catch made by Thomas, who, as we told you earlier, suffered a concussion, a mild concussion albeit, but has decided to return. They'll move the sticks.
This guy has stepped up and done good things, working man-to-man on Doug Evans. Knows where the first down route is, marker is, just comes back and catches the ball. Very simple. Trent Dilfer showing some things he hasn't shown in a while. He's stepping up and he's throwing the football. He's making things happen. And he's getting protection too.
Looking for more protection right now and got it. And fires a strike to Courtney Hawkins, turns it back inside, and he's to the 27-yard line before the tackle is made by Coons and Robinson.
But you know what, Tom, I got to go back to protection. Watch the blocking up front by Tampa Bay's offensive line. I mean, hey, that's the rookie right there. George Diaz handling Gilbert Brown man-to-man. doing a good job of getting Doug Evans turns. Once you get that cornerback turned upfield, then you stop and come back for the ball. The protection is outstanding.
First and 10, the ball at the 27-yard line of Green Bay. And the give is to Rec. And he picks up a couple of yards down to the 25. 7:37 left to go here at Lambeau Field. If Tampa Bay, and we continue to say if because it's been the story the entire game, if they can find a way to get in for a touchdown, they are very much in this game of a shocking upset.
They're very much in the game. The injury to Antonio Freeman has more to do with that than anything else. I think it's changed Green Bay's play calling significantly. They are just not the same. They don't have that kind of rhythm and burst that they had when everybody was healthy.
Short drop. Dilfer fires. First catch of the game by Alvin Harper, and he's down to the 17-yard line. And let's see if it's good enough for a first down.
He caught that ball, finally, and he's hurting too.
Well, Harper, as you know, has had the hand injury requiring stitches, and the other day a finger, an accident getting cut.
Isn't it amazing? Nothing has gone over toward Greg Newsome. They're working on the rookie that time, and you always have a height matchup, an advantage with Alvin Harper.
Harper, the long-time Dallas Cowboy, has done very little since coming to Tampa Bay, and he was, well, let's see with the measurement, very short of the first down. And the hands have been the problem. We talked about Harper had his hands split open, the webbing of his right hand split open, catching balls during practice that required stitches, and then injured it again later. And then the other day we talked about the middle finger on his left hand. Some reports earlier that he had lost part of that finger completely and unequivocally incorrect.
Tell you, things got hot though in the Minnesota game down in Tampa Bay, quiet as it's kept. Alvin went out after having that webbing split, dropped a couple balls. Tony Dungy took him out. Alvin didn't like that. They got after it on the sideline.
3rd and inches. Dilfer trying to find a little bit of daylight. Let's see if he was able to get the first down. Yes, he did. So the clock continues to run. 6:30 to go. It'll be 1st and 10 for Tony Dungy's team at the Green Bay 17-yard line, trailing 13-0.
Like Tony said, we need to just stay in the game. Stay there, stay close. Best way you do that is to keep the offense of Green Bay off the field. That's what they've done. Now they have to do the other part. They've got to get this ball in the end zone, at least come away with points here. I think it's too late for 3. I think they need to get 7 or 8.
Play fake. Dilfer drops it off out of the backfield to Allstott, and he gets out of bounds to stop the clock. 5:54. Williams on the tackle, and they'll spot it at the 11-yard line. Well, the advantage, of course, now for Tampa Bay is they can go ahead and score a touchdown. If that should be the case, they get the ball again, and the point after touchdown, should they get another 6 points, would win the game.
Look at Fritz Shermer there, boy. He was hot. He knows his team is being taken down the field. He likes to dictate the game. Take the reaction out of it and make the offense react and put the game in the quarterback's hands. So far in Dilfer's hands, he's done a pretty good job of it.
2nd and 4. And Hawkins in motion. Dilfer again to throw. Again, great protection in the end zone. Touchdown to the tight end, Dave Moore. So at 5:28, the Buccaneers finally on the board here in the 4th quarter. And they have drawn to within 7 points of a team that was favored by 17 coming in.
With one arm, one shot, he takes 60-some plus thousand people right out of the game. That ball's on a line. It's on a rope. Not bad coverage by Kuntz. I mean, that is just Trent Dilfer firing it in there.
So now Moore, who took the touchdown pass, will bend over and snap for the point after. Barnhart the hold, and here's Husted. It was high, but handled well by Barnhart, and the extra point is good. All of a sudden, we have a game as Dilfer marches the Buccaneers down the field. Fires in, touchdown, Dave Moore, 6-point game.
Dilfer does on Reggie White. Completely locks him out, and then they shut down Gilbert Brown inside. They put a double team on him right there with Mayberry and Beckles. Look at that. That can make anybody a stud.
So kicking it away is Husted. This will be Desmond Howard, a yard deep in the end zone. And he brings it out to the 19-yard line. 5:19 left to go. Can the Tampa Bay defense stop Favre and the Packers? We'll find out in a moment.
Like Hertz. By Packard Bell, the world's #1 selling home computer. And by Snickers. Not going anywhere for a while? Grab a Snickers. Hungry? Why wait?
A few long faces in the crowd here at Lambeau Field is Tampa Bay has scored 11-yard touchdown pass from Dilfer to Dave Moore. 13-7 with 5:19 to go.
As long as they were staying close like this, you knew that if they could just punch it in down in the red, they had a chance, and now they got a chance.
Head over!
Picking up an 8-man front.
On a long count, hands the ball to Edgar Bennett, and he's tripped up, maybe after a yard or two gained by Derek Brooks. Well, we remind those of you coming up the second half of our doubleheader, with the exception of those of you in Green Bay. It's a great place to live, but a bad day today. Cowboys and the Dolphins. Jimmy Johnson going toe-to-toe against his former team. That game will be at Joe Robbie Stadium. Pat Summerall, John Madden calling the action. Under 5 minutes. They call it a gain of 2. It's 2nd and 8. Green Bay offense close to nothing here in the fourth quarter. And Favre to throw. Oh, threaded the needle and hit the tight end, Chimera. Still on his feet. All the way to the 45. How in the world did Favre get that ball to Chimera?
It looked as though Brooks was going to make a play on the ball. I mean, he got that ball in there. Watching the right side, here's Chimera right there. He's just going to sit down. Lonnie March just turns around at the last minute. And somebody put a nice block on Lynch. That was Desmond Howard. Leveled him.
And Lynch shaken up on that block and had to leave the game. So he's on the Tampa Bay sideline. Big first down after the gain of 26. And they'll chew up some more time. Edgar Bennett has been, again, the second-year pro out of Florida State. Derek Brooks is going with a rookie, Marcus Jones.
The tight ends have to step up. We talked about that.
2nd and 8.
Look at Warren Sapp there. He's down. Now he's up. But Chimera, you've seen so much of Keith Jackson. Chimera has to come into the equation now to give people as much of a problem as Jackson has given.
Lynch is checked back into the game. Edgar Bennett, 17 carries, 75 yards. Chimera still moving slowly. This will be 2nd down and 9. Clark approaching 3 minutes. Hand off to Bennett. And he has first down yardage and more to the Buccaneers 39.
Boy, that's a quick trap. They run this very good. This is one of the plays that Mike Holmgren was upset about in practice. Said they weren't hitting it fast enough. See the pull right there by Aaron Taylor? It hits just like that before linebackers can get up and make the play. Watch here. This is just tough running, but look at the way the bodies are moving around. I mean, that ball is handed off just like that. And he's up for 5-6 yards into the secondary.
Edgar Bennett, such an underrated player.
Oh, absolutely. This guy does it all. Carry, block, run.
There he is again. And he's close to the 36-yard line. Mayhew and Brooks there to wrestle him down. And now Tampa Bay is going to spend the first of 3 timeouts still remaining here in the game. 2:18 to go, a 6-point Packer lead. 7 ball game. Green Bay has chewed up 3 minutes and 10 seconds on this drive. 2:18 remains in the game. Tampa Bay needs a big stop. Packers are looking to just keep the clock running. Buccaneers 2 timeouts remaining, and you figure they'll spend one after this play, which is a handoff to Edgar Bennett. They may want to stop it one more time before a 2-minute warning break will stop the clock, and that's exactly what they do. So again, we'll step out and be right back to Green Bay after these messages. For Mike Holmgren's team and for Tony Dungy's club, 3rd and 5. The ball at the 34-yard line, and Favre fires out in the flat.
No, he didn't get it.
The catch is made, and Green Bay fails to get the first down. Abraham delivered a shot to
play by Abraham. Boy, good awareness, and he knew where the yard marker was. Unlike the play he had in the earlier part of the game, he knew where the first down marker was and what he had to stop, and he stopped it.
Well, we have reached a 2-minute warning. Decision time for Mike Holmgren. Long field goal to win it, or a fourth down try to keep it alive.
Fox NFL Sunday is brought to you by HBO. It's not TV, it's HBO.
Tampa Bay has held the football given to Dorsey Levens, and plugging up the hole immediately was Chidi Ahanatu. So with 1:55 left, Tampa Bay will get the football, and a touchdown would give them the win.
Outstanding play by Chidi Ahanatu. They went to the right side. There's Ahanatu. He gets penetration, and then Brooks comes on the outside and can scrape around. It all happened because of Chidi Ahanatu getting inside. Chidi Ahanatu right there. Great penetration. They caused that. Look at them. They are in the Packers' backfield. It enables Brooks to come over and make the tackle.
Green Bay, a 17-point favorite coming into the game. They lead by 6, just under 2 minutes to go, and the Buccaneers have the ball and through the hands of the rookie Mike Holstad. Now the Buccaneers have 1 timeout remaining, and they're going to have to march some 70 yards. A field goal does them absolutely no good at all. They need to get to the end zone.
That is a rookie mistake if I've ever seen one right there. It's crunch time. We just talked about how good of a receiver is. He needs to make that catch.
Alvin Harper not in the game for Tampa Bay, re-injuring what looked to be his right hand again. So 3 receivers in on second down. Dilfer, the screen to Ellison out of the backfield. He makes a tackle and does not get out of bounds. Clock continues to roll to the 34.
A good job of avoiding the tackle there. A missed tackle like Robinson, but doesn't get out of bounds. Get your yards, get out. Tampa Bay has to be very aware of the sidelines now. And they need to make a big play.
Only a gain of 4, 3rd and 6. Dilfer, lots of protection. And once the long ball throws it into the air, and it's incomplete. Looking for pass interference was Paul Williams.
Wow, there was a lot of contact down there. Greg Newsome on the coverage. Newsome still down. And you know, I question where Trent's throwing this ball.
That is interference.
Newsome comes up over the top. He had a hand draped over him. Well, I don't know. It's close. He's playing the ball the way the new rules are with interference. As long as you're looking at the ball at the quarterback, you can be aggressive. That's very tough.
Well, this is the game for the time being. 4th down and 6. They need to get to the 41-yard line. And Dilfer in trouble. The game pretty much wrapped up. 3rd sack. This time Williams and Butler got to Dilfer.
Mistake. Dilfer's got to let that one fly. The play before that, I think he tried to get it all too early. This was the play he's got to let that one go. I mean, you know, one thing guys like Joe Montana always did that was so great, they went down the field very slowly and they were patient. Now the rush. I mean, he's got time to get something off. He's got time to get something off. Let's watch the coverage. You got man-to-man out here, Newsome. You got man-to-man inside right there. Boy, now that's interference. Doug Evans gets away with it. He makes contact, initiates contact after the 5 yards from the line of scrimmage.
Well, they're going to take a knee as the clock will get under a minute. I just wonder, Ronnie, about a pattern like that as Tampa Bay will spend its final timeout. You only need 6 yards. Yeah, still had 1 timeout left, and why you have the 2 receivers running 20-yard patterns.
But it was like that from the first snap in that series. I don't think they understood about going down the field, taking your time. You got more time than you think.
Well, let's go back at the outset. Our Fitz points and how everything shook out.
Well, the run-pass balance, that evened out pretty good for Green Bay. Especially with Antonio Freeman going out, they had to rush him more. All in all, Tampa Bay stayed away from huge penalties. They held the ball. I like that. That kept them in the game. But remember, down inside the red area, they had the miscue with the field goal. They didn't make the big plays. Only big play I saw was down there with the tight end, the touchdown with Moore. And then rhythm, and then the Favre in the rhythm. They were able to get to him. They did something. They kept him from rolling out to his right side.
Well, Tampa Bay becomes the first team in Favre's last 17 games that have held him without a touchdown throw. You have to turn back the clock nearly a year to the 5th of November, the last time Brett Favre did not throw a touchdown pass in a game, and that was against Minnesota.
Tampa Bay just couldn't get the ball in the end zone when they were down. And then the missed field goal comes into play, from a possession standpoint and from a scheme standpoint on what Green Bay had to do. They could always play run, and never really had to worry about pressing because they never felt pressed.
Well, Mike Holmgren, and you pointed it out at the outset, he was concerned about this game.
Yeah, absolutely.
He's able to pull away with a win. Tony Dungy's team defensively played a terrific game. The Packers will stay atop the NFC's Central Division. They'll look ahead next week to an encounter here at home against Detroit. At last check, the Lions shockingly were being manhandled by the New York Giants. And then back-to-back big road games for Green Bay at Kansas City and at Dallas. And here are the Central Division standings. That Detroit game still very much being played. They would go to 4-4. Minnesota will tee it up with Chicago tomorrow night.
And Detroit's problem, they're beat up on defense. They are just